So this is an example of something that we're just gonna eyeball cut this. We're gonna look at this picture and try to come up with a 3D model. And it's gonna be the same. We're gonna make, actually, let me ask, how would you CAD this? In a single part, like not as an assembly yet.
Is this the door also the closing?
So let's split it up.
A single part is the door, or a single part with the frame, but it doesn't.
So everything, and it doesn't move.
I would make a rectangle that's going to be like the door.
Uh-huh.
itself.
Uh-huh.
I'd make the cutouts. on
Yes.
it, And then I grow the frame out of the end.
Yes, yes. Yes, actually, yes, we could mirror this. Actually, there's a ton of symmetry, so we might end up doing half, as you're saying it here. We'll see in a moment. But this will make a simplified model. It doesn't need to be exactly like this. Then I'll let you guys add more details. Yeah, so let's start by doing, let's put all of those suggestions. So let's all open SolidWorks together in here. And actually, I'm not done. Let's just wait for a moment. And we could also import this as a picture and trace it out, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna eyeball this. So let's go here to File, New Part. And as usual, let's click here in Sketch. Then that button over there, Sketch. And we'll choose our front plane in here. And remember the origin, right? So we'll start by making this rectangle in here. Maybe, and just to build up on your idea, this first sketch that I'm gonna make out in here, I'll try to trace out, like I will just draw it out as if I was with a pencil drawing out like this entire scheme. That's gonna give us an idea of the overall dimensions and how things interact. And then we'll use this as our usual master sketch to reference everything out from here. So let's do it. So I'll start here with this rectangle. Remember your dimensions. Look, so today it's in inches. So we'll leave it in inches right there. I'll make that 4. I don't care what the size of this is. And let's make that 2.5. So we look back at the picture. Yeah, maybe we can make that too. So we're gonna have that rectangle represent the door. And then you have all of those interior rectangles. We can draw those ones as well. So actually, you see they all seem to be fitting within a frame. So I'm gonna draw actually a center line. It's gonna go from here to there, just to trace it all out. There we go. And I'm gonna, if you right click like this, you can make all of the interior lines construction geometry. So I want all of these as references for now. And I'll make the distance between these two be, let's say 0.1 as an example. Yeah, let's say 2.9. Which I could make that point.
Is there a reason that you make an offset?
Yes, I'll show you, because I was just looking at the picture and like the distance from here to there is a little bit bigger than from here to there. So that's why I'm making like that. And then I can make this distance in here be like 0.2. We're just overall we're just tracing, we're making a picture of the door. Yeah, 0.3 in there. And then I can just draw a bunch of rectangles. I can put one in here, one in there, and then another one like that. Yeah, so this is gonna work out in just a second. Perfect. And I can make this distance in here be, say, 0.2. Now this distance in there be 0.2. So it's good practice as well of what we learned last time about how to dimension stuff. Now if I click on this line and I click on that line, I can make those two equal. And I can click on this line, right control, click on that line, make those two equal to. I'm gonna bring this guy, there we go, that guy down. I'm gonna make these two equal as well. And I'll make those two equal. These two, actually all of these guys equal. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now it's all pretty much all fully defined, which is great. And those look approximately right as the size of our figure. So that's 0.2. Maybe I could increase that to be 0.3. Actually, no, hold on, I'll make that 0.25. 0.25, and I'll change this to be 0.25 as well. Perfect. That way it's all like a nice uniform background around this thing. So this is roughly our door. Then to make this frame right here, we can very simply go here to offset entities. I don't want to do a chain. I just select the lines that I'm, oh, interesting. I'm gonna reverse. Let's see. Excellent. And I'll do it by 0.2. Yeah, so that sounds about maybe 0.25 in there. So that's gonna represent the metal frame that we'll do in just a second. And then we can add a little bit of decorations. Yeah, I can just hand draw that. I don't think it's gonna be identical. Let's give it a shot. So it's something that goes like this. And then it goes down. Okay. And I'm gonna only make half of this that way. And I'll define all of these dimensions in a second. I'll make this height. In other words, like the reason why I like doing these exercises is because I don't think I draw particularly well. But if I come to SolidWorks, I have a lot more controlling power over the quality of my creations. So I can draw here instead, and it's like it looks much better than having to describe. And the beauty of parametric design is exactly this, that I can just tell it exactly the angles that I want this to go for. Oh, that looks decent. So I want that to be 0.4. By the way, I have an incentive not to make these things exactly equal, like exactly identical to the actual door, because otherwise we get sued. So that's why, in purpose, these are slightly different. There we go. Can make that be 70. Oh no, 70 is too much. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong angle. What even is that angle right there? Okay, so it looks approximately right. So what we can do from here is go to mirror entities, and I'm gonna click on this guy, that guy, like this, and we're gonna mirror around here. Let's say, okay, so we'll leave it as is. So we have our frame. Also, I just realized big mistake that I did it from here when I should have done it from there. So let's see whether I can fix that. 1 second. I'm just gonna actually, let me just get rid of all of these lines. I should have like done them from there, but I can just like move them if I'm not mistaken. No. You know what? I'll just draw them again. I'll give you guys more time while I repeat this process. One second. There we go. See how quickly Uh,
Way like to go back to like an overhead view.
Overhead view,
Yeah.
you can click on the spacer
Ah,
and like either just move with the ball or with the spacer, you can select like the view from where you want to see this.
thank you.
Pleasure. So let's start by doing all of this stuff. So this is kind of very similar to what we done last time, which is just sketching it out, like tracing it. But the difference is that we're doing it completely eyeballing it. So 210, there we go. Yeah, 0.6. I promise I will go around in just a second once I'm done with all of this fun stuff. Yeah, 0.15. Make this 0.2. And I'll make that distance, yeah, 0.15. Now, yes, so now mirror. I'm gonna mirror all of these lines right here. Okay, perfectly. So we got this. These guys are for some reason undefined. So I'm gonna, there we go, at the 0.25. So we got this point, this far in here. Maybe this line there, I'm gonna make it a construction line. And there's that circle right there, which we could add approximately here. There we go. Yeah, I'll make that 0.35. Perfect. Okay, so we're this far. So now let's go back to our original picture and let's kind of draw these things that go out there, at least the outline of them. So one way to do that would be by using a spline. So first I'll say that I want them to go more or less this far. So I'll do a smart dimension of this, maybe up to 1 inch right there. Yes, and I'll mirror all of this afterwards. We're gonna call this the advanced model. We're not gonna make it identical, but and then okay, so it goes okay, kind of like it like that, perfectly. And then the overall idea is that then you have like all of that grabbing system over there. I see. So we can.
The spline give dimensions when you make the drawing.
No, so spline, you see that it remains blue.
Yeah.
It's because it's it's not defined. That's the only thing that we're gonna leave as not defined. That's allowed in this universe.
No, but I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, once you start extruding things, you have to have some volume.
Yes.
A contour based on the spline,
Yes,
and then you use the program to make a technical drawing.
yes. Also, it knows.
Have dimensions in the drawing, will it just be drawn on without any,
I think that it rasters the spline into a discrete set of points. But based on my experience, what it does whenever you take it to a laser cutter and you have a spline is all of these points, say from here to there, they become straight lines. So it looks so these all become,
it'll look more like the top.
yes, it will look more like the top. It looks kind of ugly. It depends on like, but in my experience, I think it worked. I haven't done machining. Yeah, I think you could. Yes, it should be able to. Just in case, just don't use a spline if you want a machine. Just use a circle, a semicircle, and that is more well defined. I think that's how I've done it in the past. That's a great question. Okay, so let's add that series of details right there. So there's a little rectangle. Oh, we're almost done with this thing. Then I think everything else from here should be smooth shading. So we're gonna, oh, that point should be connected there. We go. Connected there. And I'm gonna define that to be 0.05. And then you have, yes, about a couple of those. Excellent. This is gonna be a different model, but that's okay. Oh, I should probably define the height of this to be 2.5. Excellent. And now, so that's 2.5. We're gonna make them like this. So I want to make the distance between here and here be 0.5. That way we'll make 5 of these guys. I'll make this height 0.05. I'll make these two equal to each other. There we go. Okay. And now we go here to says linear sketch pattern. And we are gonna click on, so for the axis, we'll do that. I don't care about that. And entities to pattern, we'll do this line, and that line. We're gonna reverse the direction. We'll make that 0.5. And we want 5 of these. And so it should take us straight down. And let's click on OK. Okay, that's good. And then last but not least, let's go here to mirror and let's select all of this stuff in here. Oh. Yeah, let's go manually one by one.
They're a lasso select.
What?
They're like a lasso select.
Yes, I think I can right click. Oh, you're good. But I like just in case, one by one. That way, if I mess up, I can always like do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems mostly fine. Okay. Mirror about here. So this might give us an error because it might say that it's over constrained, in which case it's not the end of the world, but yeah, I've done it all. So we'll leave it as just 1/2 like this. And then not my first SolidWorks rodeo.
Why is it saying it's
Yeah, what
overconstrained?
is causing the spread?
Oh, because I added like a bunch of dimensions in there, and then it's I never understood it's like the math, the behind the scenes math. But all right, this is it pretty much. So once you get to this point, just go here and we're gonna rename it. Where is the rename to item master sketch? And then the door that we're gonna build is gonna be based entirely on that sketch. That's it. So let me go around helping you guys.
Go back.
Oh.
Real quick.
Yes. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, you can do whatever dimensions you want, but is it okay? Like,
Yeah, that's good.
so just try to copy. Okay, don't worry, just in the interest of time, because time is my biggest enemy. Don't worry, you haven't done this side part in here or whichever part. That we'll save for later. We'll focus on the main door for now. So let's continue with this. I'm just gonna exit. But now the whole strategy, which hopefully you can anticipate from last time, is that I'm gonna create a new sketch in here, and it's gonna be on the same plane as the one that we started from, so the front plane. And I go to our friend convert entities, and we're gonna start literally by converting one by one. So let's say I wanna start with the door as an example, right? So I'll convert all of those. Then I go here to features, and I'll extrude by 0.1 as an example, right? And then I go back to sketch, I go to the front face of this thing, and now I'm gonna convert all of our rectangles. I'm gonna do select chain, that way it's easier. Very good, just like that. And then I go here to features, extrude cut, and we're gonna maybe extrude by 0.02. And I'll leave it like that. That is super easy. Then for like the door, like the metal frame around it, I go here to sketch, and I'll do a sketch in the front plane. I go here to features. Actually, no, here to convert entities. and I select all of these lines. Oh, no, I'm not even, yes, I'm not even doing, there we go. Like that, I'll say okay, and then I will just finish this, there we go. Oh no, that I do not want. Then I'm gonna convert this line, that line, that line, and that line like this perfectly. And I'm gonna extrude. Okay, we're gonna do some math in here. We'll do 0.25 in one, actually 0.22 in one direction and 0.02 in the other one. That way there's a little bit of thickness for, oh no, I did it 0.05. This should be 0.07. Let's see whether that works. How much thickness did I give this? Oh, that was 0.10. There we go. Now I get it. So this should be 0.12. There we go. And now we can see like the frame nicely drawn in here. Now for the eye valve, I'm gonna, that one, multiple ways that we can do it. I think I'm gonna challenge you in one that is a little bit more tricky than the other one. I'm gonna go here to sketch. Actually, yes, I'll do a sketch in this face right here. And I will do a center line that goes like that. I click exit, then go here to features, reference geometry, plane. And I will click like this and I create a plane that is right there. And then I go to sketch and I'm gonna do a little profile that I can revolve. So that's gonna go like this. There we go. I wanna make those two touch each other. This probably can be 0.02. Where am I? Oh, I'm doing it down there. I'm in the wrong. I'm in the wrong axis. Let me. I do not want that in here. Let me go here to convert entities. That line. There we go. Now yes, I am in the correct plane. So I'm gonna go from here to there like this. And I'll make this point and that point be pierced. I can't. Can I make them coincident? No. In that case, I'll make that 0.15, which I think was approximately right. 0.35 the diameter. Okay, so that means that has to be 0.175. Yeah, that seems about right. Thank you. Then 0.02. And now, yes, I can do a little, maybe that I can exaggerate it a little bit more. And then if you want to be like super precise, you can add a construction geometry line in here. Save that. And make these two tangent. There we go. So we go here to features, revolve. And I have a nice light bulb in there. But to make it even prettier, what I can do is go up here to the origin. Let's see, convert. Oh, convert entities. There we go. And let's say, there we go. I'm just gonna leave that as 0.45. That as 0.4. And extrude that upwards by 0.02. I'm gonna hide that for a second. Perfect, so now we have our light in there, part of the door. So let's finish by doing this side in here, and then we'll add a couple more details by filleting and whatnot. So let's do here a sketch on this face right here. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. I'll do a sketch on this face in here, and I will convert this line, that line, that line. I will go one by one, converting all of these guys. As we go. That's good, but I have to close it down here. Perfect. Okay, so we are gonna give this maybe, I'll say actually 0.01 in this direction. Then in the other direction, I think we did that at 0.02, so that's 0.14, so 0.15. That way looks, okay, that looks good. Perfectly, we're almost done. And then because I like details, I will add one more part in here, which is convert entities. Now, yes, select chain. Very good. And I will just complete this right here. And this, I will extrude by 0.1. There we go. And now we are essentially done. Again, I'm gonna hide this, and you can see kind of like some of the details in here. Yeah, I can. I'm gonna bless you. Yes, I'm gonna chamfer maybe that by 0.01. Let's see what that looks like. Perfectly. And now I'll go here to reference geometry plane, and I'm gonna make a plane that will bisect this in half. So I'll leave that in there just like that. And before we start doing anything, I'm gonna add a couple of details to the door. So for instance, well, it's not gonna look identical, right? But we can go here to fillet, choose those corners right there, maybe make that smaller to, let's say 0.3. Just like that. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I'm gonna do a mirror first along this plane. Of the features that I want to mirror, it's gonna be this dark cut, and that fillet right there. If I go to this side, yes, that was done. Very good. And then what I'm gonna do is another mirror. So I'm gonna create first another plane. You know, from here to there, chopping that in half in that dimension. And I will do a mirror of features of this thing and that. Actually, yeah, and I could also do that as well, but why not? Maybe that I did it. Perfect. I think on this mirror right here. I mean, I'll leave it like that. Sometimes you just have to be strategic. So probably what I'll do is I'll go here to sketch on this face, and I will convert entities, all of that stuff right here. I'm just gonna expand by 0.1 like that. And then I'll chamfer this Let's for that. Yes, and I'm gonna get rid of that. Yeah, so try. I was a little quick, as you can probably see, but nothing to. I barely drew any new lines. It was all based on the original one. So I leave it in here. Let me walk around. Actually, one last thing. If you wanna be like super duper detailed, I'm gonna go here to sketch. Here the bottom plane, and I'll draw one line in here. So here's a creative idea. If you wanna 3D print this and make it like a book holder or like a book separator, this in here is gonna act as the base. So let's make that 5. And let's make this 0.5. And let's say 0.1. And now I can just chamfer all of these edges. There we go. I'll make those 0.1. There. Now, while you guys do that, I'm gonna add details on mine in here because it's never too many details. I'm gonna offset entities reverse by 0.1. Actually, I think I found the features, convert entities. I'm gonna exclude. Okay, that looks good. Yeah. Let me know when you guys are done. I'm just like playing around in here, like adding more details to mine. Maybe 5 more minutes and then we'll continue. Then if you wanna do what I'm doing, you can just watch the video afterwards. This one might take a little bit of time to explain exactly what this is.
Are we saving the doorknob for later?
Oh yeah,
Much more?
that is a great point. We should add a doorknob. We'll add one in a second.
But can't really like door.
No, otherwise, no, it's completely useless. That is exactly. Oh, actually,
I see
yes,
your light circle.
yes. So the light circle is this guy right here. So let's edit this piece. Oh, let me. Actually, let's do the doorknobs together.
That's how you made it so thin.
In fact, so to do the doorknob, which is very similar to this, for instance, right? How I would do it is, right, let's actually see where is it placed. It's right there, right? So I would go here to sketch. Oh, sketch, this facing here, whether,
Oh, you're gonna revolve. The whole-
yes.
Oh, that.
So I do a little center line that goes all the way like this. We'll take the phone call later on that one. And I'll just draw a line that's gonna go up to there. Smart dimension. I don't wanna bring this back to, let me, how do I put this in here again? Ah, it doesn't matter, okay. Go back here to the sketch, edit, smart dimension. That should be 0.125. And I'm gonna exit the sketch and go here to features, then to, oh, where is it, reference geometry, plane, and I'll make a plane that is at that point and at that line. And I'll say, okay. And here I'll do a sketch. That's gonna go right there. And the doorknob, by the way, is very similar to how I did the light bulb in the Luxo lamp. And I'll make a little sketch that will go like this. There we go. So this I'll probably do a half circle. And along those lines. Center line, I'll add it right there. And I click on that line, I'll make those two tangent from each other. And then with smart dimension, I'll just finish all the stuff. Yeah, that's fine. I'll make that 0.02. This height in here, 0.03. The circle, I really don't care how big it is, but I'll leave it like that. And then we just need one last, yeah, that's fine. One last straight line. It goes right there. And then if we go to features, revolve, it's gonna go like that. And I can just hide that plane and hide that sketch. Ah, well, that's a very tiny doorknob.
Mine's over.
It is maybe for like a kid or something. So I hate it. So I'm gonna go back to, it's good. So I go here. Yes, it's like a little knob more than. So I'm gonna just come back here and let's change this ASAP. That is horrendous, honestly. All right, so it's gonna complain a lot. So I'm gonna get rid of that for a second. Yeah, I can. Oh, there I get like a little representation of. But that looks a little bit too big, so maybe there. So once you're kind of happy with where you are, maybe give that a height of 0.2. It dimensions everything. And exit sketch. Okay, it's better. I wouldn't say I'm in love with the doorknob, but it looks decent enough. At least it's recognizable. And then probably this part I won't do in the interest of time, but you can watch the video. I was creating a bunch of planes such that I could eventually place the canister in here. But I think I'll just get rid of them. That way I don't want to confuse you guys. What parts do you guys want me to? Yes, and again, you could mirror all of this stuff in here if you want to, but I won't do that for now.
Play with that.
Yes, let's do that one. So I'm gonna go back in time to here. So I started by creating a sketch. No, not that one, sorry. That sketch. Let me just hide that one. So I created this sketch in here, which you cannot see, but you will, yeah, now you see it. So then I went over to features, reference geometry plane. And if you click on the point and you click on the line, you have a plane that is, well, exactly right there. And you click on OK. So then I just did a sketch on plane 7, in other words. And she's right there. Let's do something completely different. So let's all go. We're gonna change gears. We're gonna start from 0. Let's go to the website, like the Disney one, how to CAD. Let me know if you need a hand finding this. And go to session files, session 2. And there's a zip folder called Luxo something. Let's see if I find it. Here, click on the Luxo Junior Lamp zip folder and download that. Here, let me show you. This is the website if you need to find it. So once you download that folder, open the assembly. So click on SolidWorks assembly. Yes, SolidWorks launcher, just once, I don't care. One. Oh, where did I download? Oh, so you're able to. This is gonna not be okay. Let me just. Oh, I didn't unzip. That's why. Let me just extract all. Now, yes. Hopefully it's gonna work. Yeah. Perfect. So let me know once you guys have opened this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build this assembly.
Oh, like.
Using
all the ice.
using the different parts. So are we all ready? Like, were you guys able to download the zip file with the parts?
Sounds like fun. A
Well,
lot of parts.
it was a lot of parts. We're not gonna CAD individually all of them because unfortunately we don't have a lot of time. But we're gonna build the assembly, assuming. But it's very easy parts to design, by the way. And then, all right. So here's what we'll do. Let's go to File, New, Assembly, and I'm gonna browse in a folder. The first part that we're gonna insert is Luxo #1. I'll click on Open. And I'll bring here this in space, and you see that that one is fixed because it's the very first part that we added in here. Once you've done that, Then you go here to insert components, and I'll add this one is called Luxo number 2, right there. So it's only 9 parts, unique parts. And I'll add that one in here, and that one has the negative sign, which means I can move it in space. And what we'll do is here start adding mates. So mates are the constraints. So I click in where it says mate, and I can say, all right, I want this guy and this guy right here to share the same axis, to be concentric. And then instead of using the width mate, I'm just gonna make that face and this face. So now what does this all mean? That this thing is constrained to always be rotating like that. I think that's the way it's supposed to be. Yes. Okay, so the next part that we're gonna add is Luxo free. So let's go over to our assembly in here, and let's go to insert component, browse. We can do Luxo free right here. And then I'm actually gonna do Control C, Control V, that we can have 2 of these parts. And then the exact same thing, mate, and I'll go over to that face. I'll go over to this face right there. I make that concentric. And then what we can do is you can click on this face, click on that face, and make it tangent. So it's like touching each other. Then I'll do the exact same thing. I'll click on that face in here, that face in there, oh, concentric, that face in there. I'll make those 2 concentric. Let me just move this around. Then that face in here and that face in there, and I make it tangent. And then you add, I'm gonna click on these 2 faces and I make them coincident, I can make them parallel. So what does this do is that now I have, these guys are constrained in space to always be rotating together like that. So we got these 2. So I'll have a couple more and then I'll start walking around. I'll challenge you to build it yourselves. So let's add these 2 right here, and then I'll add those 2 sideways. So this is Luxo 4. So let's go over, let's go over here, and let's go over to insert components, and let's click in Luxo number 4. And I'm gonna click in there, and then on mate, and I'll click on this face. I'll click on that face. That's concentric, very good. Then I click on this face. I'll click on that one, very good. And then I can click on Luxo 4 right here, Control C, Control B, and I'm gonna lay it out right there. And then mate, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. You could also mirror parts in assemblies, but I don't like doing that personally. It tends to cause trouble. And at least in Siemens, it caused a lot of trouble. So then I'm gonna click on these 2 faces and I'll make them parallel to each other. So all of this means is that now, not only this can move, this can move too. And now let's add what I think it's Luxo 5. That is Luxo 5. So that one connects this piece and that piece in there. Okay. I'm not gonna, in this assembly, I'm not gonna add the hinges just for simplicity, but you can do it afterwards if you want at your own leisure. So let's go here, file, no, insert components. Insert components, browse, Luxo 5, right there. So say I wanna add, so I have this one, right? And I'm gonna, there we go, selected, Control B. If you also select it like this, you can go right here and rotate where it says move component, click on the little triangle, and you can rotate around, that way it's facing the correct direction. And then when you're done, you click on OK. Perfect. And I think, let me just look at the assembly, right? So it's connected from that one. So I'll go here to insert component, no, to mate. And I'll mate this face. I'll make that face. I'll make that concentric. And now I'll make this face. I'll make that face that is concentric. And then this face and that face is going to be coincident, touching each other. So let's do the exact same thing on this side. So that face and that face concentric. Then this face and this face coincident. And then this face and that face concentric too. So now these are all parallel. There we go. Yeah, so it's like for those of you guys that do robotics, not me, but like you'll find some of these familiar, right? And then maybe the last one that I'm gonna add is I think the spring is kind of a neat mechanism in here, like how. Actually, I might skip the spring because I think it's too much. But it's essentially you add like that hinge in there, then you have those two guys.
Find material properties with parts.
Oh.
Make them solids that pass through each other or give the spring a force constant.
I think you can. For instance, if I right click here, in that box, actually, if you click in here where it says solid bodies, right click, there should be somewhere that says material properties somewhere. You definitely you can do FEA if you want in here, like finite element analysis.
There.
Like you can do finite, like you can do like vibration. Like you can like statics, you apply a load. But I don't remember exactly where you change the material, no, change transparency.
I think it's the same as when you edit appearance, right?
No, here, we're just material not specified. I can edit material and say that, and look at, you have a ton to choose from. If you wanted to, and this is more useful when you do analysis where you have the Young's modulus and stuff like that.
How do you get into that?
In here, it says material not specified, right click, edit material. And you have a ton of stuff. If not, you can make custom materials and just add whatever properties that you find, right? Like some of the custom plastic, and actually we leave it like that, but you can probably add whatever constants that you discovered. Yeah, I'll leave you guys robust, right? There's a robust software, yeah. No. Okay, I'll leave you with this picture in here. That way you know more or less how to build it. Yeah, wait. Maybe one last note that I can say is that all of these, say if I open that random part in here, let me just go back in time to this. They're all based on the same sketch, by the way. I think take a look at the video if you have time. Luxo is just this. That is all I had to do. It's a bunch of linkages. And in the same way, there's a very powerful, this master sketch thing, I keep on bringing it up, is that now this was like the first time that you can insert sketches into other parts. So if I were to go to, let me show you something, right? Let me open the master sketch as an example. Let me go here to Luxo lamp, Luxo master sketch, which is this thing. I can edit this part, and suppose I want that to be 10 as an example, right? Yeah, it's gonna, you see how it changed all of that stuff? I'll say, okay. And then I'll exit the sketch. Now, look what happens if I go back to the original assembly. Well, things are gonna break, most likely. There we go. I need to modify it, but it all updates automatically. Yeah, now all of the mates broke, which is it's a pity. So I should probably go back to, where is it? Luxo Master Sketch. I'll probably go back in time. I do wonder what would happen if I were to,
Did you just make this master sketch separately?
yes, so
Okay.
it's a separate part. Like, let me,
So you did the master sketch and you made it every single part do it?
no, so then what I would do is go here to File, New, like part, as an example. Say I want to do that hinge in there. And I go here to Insert, Part, and literally I go here to Browse, and the part is the master sketch. And then you have to make sure that these two are checked, Absorb Sketching and Absorb Sketching. You click on OK, you say yes, and that's it. So then the usual stuff of now going to sketch. Then we need to select the plane, right? So let me just move this in here. I don't. So let's select that plane, and then I go to the usual. Actually, I don't even need to convert entities. I use this command that's called slot, and I select those 2 points. And then I go to Smart Dimension. I'll make that point
I
too.
see.
And actually, that's too little. But then every time,
Like
I-
you sketched out the dimension between every connection,
yes,
and now you're just extruding parts of.
all from that. So every time I change the base sketch, all of the parts associated with that sketch will change, which is kind of neat. And here, let's go back to the assembly. Let's see whether it got fixed. Okay, so I should have probably not changed the dimensions originally. But let's go back to the master sketch in here. Let's bring it back to what it was originally, which was 60. Let's save it like that. Exit sketch. We go to the lamp. Okay, now it's complaining either way, so it doesn't matter. But at least, oh, there's a part that disappeared. So there's a linkage that is supposed to go there that got lost. Anyways, I'll leave it like this. Actually, I could close the assembly. Let me see. And say don't save. And now let me open it again. Let's see whether this works. Yes. Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna just hide that in there. Perfect. What?
I just wanna see the.
Oh, I'll let you guys play around and then I'll show you that. But now okay, let's do the exploded view because time. Oh, my biggest enemy. It's already 4:40. Anyway, so I'm gonna do the exploded view based on like the big assembly that we have in here. So let's give it a shot. So for that, we go over to this thing that's called Configuration Manager. And you can right click. So Configuration Manager in there, it's like those 2 boxes. And then right click in here and you say New Exploded View. You can create a ton of exploded views. And if you're like me and you like Legos, you can literally create like an instruction set on how to build this thing, like as an engineering drawing. Maybe that we might do it next time. But for now, what? It's probably how they make the manuals. That is, maybe. Actually, I'm not sure because there's like an illustrator guy that comes there and fixes some things. But as a general concept, yes. So let's do it. So I go here to explode. So explode step 1. It's gonna say, right, what's the first thing in the assembly process? So I'm gonna click in this thing, like say the head, and I can drag it upwards like that. And then, no, I'm gonna drag it upward like that. And I click on done as that being the first step, as an example, right? Then I can click on multiple things. For instance, the hinge, like these 2 parts. also drag it up and say done. Then I can click on this guy, drag it out, or it's like this, and see how it's drawing a nice dash line. And I click on done. So that way you can reference a little bit better, how everything is coming into play. Then I can click on this guy, that guy, like all of the pump system in here. I'm always here as an add step in there. Oh, actually, sorry. I'm not sure what I've done. No, I do not want to do that. I want to do, yeah, I'm gonna delete step. Oh, well, this will disappear. Hold on, let me, edit feature. There we go. I'm gonna start again. So step 2, I'll click on these two right here, and I'll make it go, why is it only constraining it? Hold on. Edit feature. Yeah, sometimes I get a little bit too excited. There we go. And SolidWorks starts complaining. I'll say, right, done. Then I click on that guy, I move it forwards, done. Then this guy, that guy, all of these different parts. I'm gonna move it backwards, like this. I click on done. Then I'm gonna click on that part, and move it backwards. I click on done. Then on this piston figure, oh, not that. There we go. I'm gonna make it go like that. And then I'm gonna click on these two. I'll make it go sideways. This is an entire part, so I'll leave it like that, done. So the more steps you add, the better, right? Because it's gonna be easier to like visualize. Then I click on this part, I'll say done. And then I'm gonna click on this sub-assembly right here. I'm gonna make it go done. And then all of these guys, I'll make it come up like that. Good.
Is there some animation where it does each step in turn or?
Yes.
All steps?
No, we'll do that animation in just a second. No, just wait, let me finish with this. So now
Go to like start.
oh, where do I start? Yes, let me just, I click on that and then I click on, okay. So you go to this tab in there and then in default, right click and say new exploded view. And then say you exit it, I can always come back here. Actually, I can collapse, in which case it comes back to where we started from. I can explode again, and I can continue editing this thing, which is what we'll do right now. I'm gonna bring the base, and I'll bring that like that. This part and that part, I'm gonna bring it there. This, oh, I'm gonna, there we go. I click on done. This guy goes there. That guy goes here. I mean, if you have a lot of patience, right, you can make a terrific animation out of this. But I don't have patience. I like seeing things happen quickly, as you can already tell from class. I'm gonna make this one go upwards. This one go upwards. There we go. Done. We're almost there. I'll click on this one. Done. So you can only do one direction per step, as you can tell. So
Shift the object axis.
the object,
Can you rotate?
yes, I can do, for instance, well, first, right, let me do this one, and now I can click on this and say that I want this step to be this, for instance. I click on done. Is that what you asked?
No, I'm saying, like, it's showing two sets of axes, right?
Uh,
Sets of coordinate axes.
like, let's choose this one, yes.
Once you start moving it.
Yes.
So can you rotate one set of axes relative to the other? to.
Oh, no, I don't think it's gonna allow us for, that would, that would be too complicated. That's a good question. But suppose you're happy with this, right? And then you click OK, and you have a mesh right here of parts. Look at it. I mean, it's a big assembly. So then you go to where it says motion study right here. And what we're gonna do is something spectacular. We're gonna go to animation wizard. It's a very simple animation. And we're gonna say rotate model around the y-axis, that's fine. I'll click on next. I want to do this for 20 seconds, why not? Finish. So now, if you do that, this is gonna rotate. By the way, I'm gonna click on OK. I don't want this animation because, well, let me just go here. I think I only said a single rotation. I'll probably do, let's say, 3 rotations, as an example, right? And now, yes, 20 seconds. I'll click on finish. Now you go back to animation wizard, and I can say, right, I want you to explode it in the first time. So do 10 seconds. That way it's like half of that time. So, and say finish. And now I'll do another animation. I'll do a collapsing, and I want to start at second 10 and finish at second 20. I'll say finish. Okay, let's see what this does. It's like showing, and you can like download this, you can add some videos, put some heavy metal around it, like how all of this is magically coming. So these are like that videos when you see
You
like
can export this.
an MP4.
Hours.
Yes.
Do you put the music in here, or do you do it in a separate?
No, in a separate. Oh. Actually, if you go here, you can see all of the mates that exist. And I can go, where is it? Mates in Luxo. So I can get rid of that mate and say yes. And I'm not sure whether I can make this thing jump or pretend that the that the ball is moving away from this. That if I were to, there's a way where I select, all right, in those 2 seconds, I want to just, oh, there you go. It finally did it. So that is exactly what I wanted to show you. So now I can, all right, let's say I go to second 6 and I move the ball like there. So now this video consists of the following thing. See, if you're not constrained by the mains, you can like move stuff around. So then I can come back.
Change the trajectory.
Uh,
Like, can you make it too far?
yeah, I can just do. Oh, actually, I think it just detects the.
Look at what goes start to end, right?
Yeah, I think it goes. I think it's a straight line. However, I think you
You
might.
could just manually like every single second.
Yeah, you could.
No,
I mean, that's what videos
Like
do it,
playmaking.
right?
No, you might be able to define a spline if I'm not
That you can
mistaken.
have
And
it
have it follow. Actually, you want to try that? I was doing that. I was designing an airport, and I wanted to move the airplanes around. Here, let's do front plane, and let me do. I don't have time to take the call right now, but let me do a quick sketch, and let me do a spline. I'll say, okay, exit sketch. So let's go here to model. It's assembly mate. Let's wait for a second. Path mate. I think, where is it? Is it in advanced? Here, yes. So component vertex, I can say the star as an example. So it works best if it's a cone, if I'm not mistaken. Path selection, I can say that. You know, I say one more time, and then path mate. Let's do it all together. Path mate. Let's select that way. I'm not crazy in here. Path mate 1. constant. Let's do 500, maybe 1,000. It doesn't like that. You say, okay, all right, do something. Where are you?
Hey, kidding, where's the doors? Oh, there you go. Oh,
No, but it's not. No, you gotta, now it decides.
Did you change the thing in the corner? Remember the drop down?
oh, yeah, you need to do motion study, not animation.
Yeah, right.
On the left.
Oh, you are so correct.
They're very advanced motion.
That. Oh! Hey!
Cool.
Everybody,
Yeah.
welcome to Pixar Studios right here.
Oh, my God.
So that being said, like every great math textbook, I leave it as an exercise to the reader. All right, folks, thank you very much. I'll see you next time. I'll just end